俺たちはこの世に存在するべきではない。
愚かだな、風間陣。
2025, it's officially here, and your New Year's resolution should be to play a Mishima character on Tekken 8. The game has been out for almost an entire year, and a lot of people are still afraid to enjoy one of their favorite characters only because they feel that their execution is not good enough for them. We need to discuss this because a huge amount of people are limiting their potential enjoyment of Tekken 8 only because of this execution barrier related to Mishimas, and they're maybe missing out on one of their favorite characters only because of this. We're going to be talking about a lot of different points on why you should enjoy your Mishima characters even if you don't have the best execution in the world. So, if you enjoy fighting game content, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing. It helps the channel like crazy. Please also let me know in the comments what do you think about this. Should a player with bad execution play a Mishima or force themselves to play someone else even if they love a Mishima character? Stay until the end because it's going to be a very interesting video. In our beloved Tekken franchise, and of course in its last entry point, Tekken 8, there is a character archetype called the Mishimas. And these characters, just in case you don't know, are very high risk, high reward, and they require a very high execution to play. Because all of them share a specific move called Electric, which is a frame perfect move. Now, you have a lot of different options to play Mishimas. You have your protagonist, which is fairly easy, broken, and a lot of people love him and other people hate him. You also have your grandpa that came back from the freaking death, but we're not gonna talk about that. You also have our dear villain, which practically everybody loves, to be honest. And you also have the newcomer, the new Mishima, which is fairly cool and one of the probably the best newcomers in the history of the Tekken franchise. And my man, we don't talk about him. Some of these characters are actually very popular already. Imagine if everyone that actually wanted to play a Mishima character did it. Like, maybe that would be the only thing we would see online. And as I said before, this character archetype shares one key move, which are electrics. Electrics are frame perfect, but when you do the frame perfect version of these moves, they are very good. They are arguably the best move in the game. So this amazing move is generally interpreted as the execution barrier to play these characters. And now we're gonna talk, or we're gonna go to the first point on why this is not true, and why you should allow yourself to enjoy Mishima characters even if you can't do electrics or other high execution moves. The first thing you gotta understand is that Mishimas actually reward players for having good fundamentals. If you play decent fundamentals through the tools that these characters have, even if you don't use electrics, you're probably gonna win, because that's how they are designed. At the same time, these characters of course are very high risk, high reward, but they have a lot of mix-up options and strings and pressure tools that are not dependent on the usage of electrics. And the thing with a lot of the tools that these characters have is that they're arguably as strong or even better than an electric. So of course electrics are an advantage, are an amazing tool, but you could do something different in a lot of situations that one could argue it's even better than actually doing the electric. If we go ahead and check some Mishima characters one by one, for example, Kazuya has some of the best lows in the game. Incredible jab strings, great counter hit launchers, also great frame traps, great wall pressure. So like, do you really need to use electrics? They are incredible moves, of course, but if you can't do them, you can still have a very strong and oppressive game plan. With Kazuya, for example. With Heihachi, the same happens. With Reina, the same happens. And with Jin, it becomes disgusting. Like, you can use Jin without electrics or even use his easy electrics that he has access to. And he has some moves that are arguably better than the electric because the character is just so strong. So with him, you don't even need to think about using electrics. You can win without them every single time. And well, when it comes to Devil Jin, we don't talk about him. I already said. Now another argument, if we know that these characters work without electrics and that they reward you very hard for playing good fundamentals, do you simply thought about the idea that you enjoy them? Like, you can just play these characters because you like them. You don't need to only play characters that you can play fairly well and, you know, have the most potential on them. You can play a Mishima because you love the character, you love how it looks, you love their moveset, or you think they're cool, and you can simply enjoy them. And that is something that people seem to forget when they play fighting games, because they try to optimize everything, you know, because we are on the modern era of fighting games. We have access to guides and resources to play characters at a very, you know, optimized way, or a very high optimization level. But you don't need to do that. That is something that the internet has made you think that you need to do. But you can simply pick the game, learn some things with a Mishima that you love, and start enjoying it. And time will make you play better when you play these characters. So if you actually enjoy playing Mishimas, you know, when you launched up the game, you think, oh, I want to play this character, but it's too hard, I don't know if I should do it. Maybe you should only think about what you enjoy. Because at the end of the day, this is something that people are forgetting on fighting games, and you don't need to play in the most optimized way. You need to prioritize having fun. It is still just a game, and you're not trying to prepare for a tournament or win Evo. So why don't you just relax and enjoy a character that you actually love in this franchise? And something that you gotta connect with that is that, as I said before, these characters reward you for having very good fundamentals, so they also teach them. And the thing with this is that even if you think that you're bad right now, while you play a Mishima that you like, experience with these characters will make you very good at the game, because they're gonna teach you good fundamentals that are universal, that you can use with every character. They're gonna teach you to play in a patient way, instead of, you know, depending on a lot of basically cheap tools, or what we consider cheese, because there's a lot of that in this game. So at the same time, you know, if you enjoy this type of characters, they're gonna reward you for actually playing them, even if you're not sure about it. It's gonna take time, of course, but you're gonna feel over time that you're gonna become a lot better at the game, only because you actually were patient enough to pick them, even if you couldn't, you know, do very high execution things with them. And something that is very interesting that is related to this is that some Mishimas in this game, as I showed before, are some of the most popular characters, but at the same time they have very low win rates. For example, Reina is a top 5 character in popularity in this game, at least from the last, you know, statistics that we were able to check, and she has some of the worst win rate in the game. So that says to you, or tells you, that people enjoy these characters so much that they don't even care if they lose, because they are having fun, they are enjoying the game. And that's what you should prioritize too. You should think about this game in a way in which the most important thing is having fun, and not necessarily always winning. And my last point that is connected to this thing, you know, related to win rate and being good, quote unquote, at fighting games, is a key, you know, idea that some people ignore, and that is that this type of characters, if you play them, enjoy them, and you put time on them, they actually teach you to basically deal better with losing. And that is a very useful and valuable thing to have on your mind, you know, when you play fighting games, because fighting games are hard. They're not easy to play, they tend to be frustrating. So if you play characters like this that are basically, you know, high risk, high reward, they are hard, but they teach you patience, they teach you fundamentals. These characters are basically teaching you how to play any fighting game. And that is something that has infinite value, because in the future, if you want to play another fighting game and not only Tekken, maybe you're actually going to have huge success, because you're going to pick up a character that is going to be fairly simple, and you just played, you know, Kazuya 100 hours on Tekken 8, and you're going to be a beast at the other game that you play, because you have insane fundamentals, you're patient, you actually play defense, etc. So it has so much value to learn how to play fighting games, and not only Tekken. And I can assure you, you can play another character in this game, you can play an easy character, and maybe when you try to play another fighting game, you're actually going to quit it. Because when you start playing the other one, you start to see that you basically only won on Tekken because you mostly cheese people. And that is fine, you're just trying to play the game and have fun. But if you have any sort of goal to get into other fighting games and enjoy them, playing Mishimas is actually gonna make that a lot easier. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I just wanted to put this discussion out there because I feel like people, again, are forgetting to just enjoy fighting games. And instead of prioritizing having fun, they're just trying, you know, to be perfect and to play in this esports mindset, sorry, in which we're trying to be the best we can be 24/7 and only play perfect. And that is basically a very bad thing to do if you're not trying to actually compete. So, if you enjoyed the video, please consider, again, giving it a like, subscribing, and leave a comment on what you thought about the video and what you think about this discussion. And have an amazing week. See you on the next one.